have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us use them wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in thy holy name, amen. Just salute the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening in public forum. If anybody would like to speak,
I would just like to recognize and thank the board for their decision to move up the paving of Scales Road. I'm glad there was enough money left in the budget, and they did a great job. It's quite an improvement. So,
thank you.
I was at the planning board meeting last week, and I was there for one specific reason. I'm trying to find the comprehensive land use plan of 1993. I've discussed it with Mike, discussed it with Julie, Carl, and basically the reaction that I got at the meeting was, we can't find it. So it started to concern me when I was watching a 9B, First Choice Automotive basically turned into a junkyard, a non-conforming billboard, and then we had Plattsburgh Wholesale Homes parking double wides, store warehousing them on 9B, all in a row, probably within a mile. So I looked at the zoning code, and in the code it says that they were going to implement the recommendations made by this land use, this comprehensive land use plan. This is 1993. Zoning law went into effect in 94. No one can locate this plan, and we had a discussion with Mr. Murnane, and he said, you know, you should bring this up at the town board meeting. And his recommendation was that the town should have such a plan, should. So my question is, will the plan go into effect, or will there be a new plan? Because I don't know how a town board or a planning board or code, zoning code board can make decisions if they don't know what the community is supposed to look like.
Fair question. Is this the one? Go ahead.
I've been working with Jane checking on this, and she indicated that the comprehensive plan is the zoning law. The land use committee took that comprehensive plan and brought that to the town board, and that's what they passed. The comprehensive plan is the zoning law, which was passed in 1994. So I look back in the minutes, and that's more or less what it says in the minutes back in 1994. So the zoning law that is in effect is the comprehensive plan.
Okay. Can you give us the minutes that state that?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the one that, like, is it Richard Lamb? Is he the guy that helped with that? I wasn't here, but I remember that name.
And Mayo was the supervisor.
Joe Mayo?
Yeah.
Did he give you a copy of the comprehensive plan?
Well, Jane is indicating that the comprehensive plan is the zoning law that's in effect. They
But
took,
did he give a copy of that?
well, we have a copy of the zoning law,
Yeah. but
Yeah.
not the plan.
but she's saying what they did for plan was the actual zoning law. But the zoning law, they took the plan and they adopted it as local law. I think it's number 4 of 2000, or 1994, which is the zoning law.
But we
that
can
is in
find that.
effect. Yeah.
You can find that.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have copies, and Nikki has copies of zoning law, I do too, in my office, and
Okay. I'll try to get you a copy of that.
Yeah, it's just that, I think it's like the second paragraph in the code. I mean, this is basically what it says, I'm quoting here. The zoning law is intended to implement the land use planning recommendations made in the 1993, and in quotes, Town of Champlain Comprehensive Land Use Plan. I'd love to see that document. I mean, obviously, this document did exist at some time, and
Yes.
and now no one can find it.
It predates most of us, and I'm not aware of it or where it would be. Okay.
but it does exist, because it's the zoning law now. The zoning law that the board adopted
Well,
in 1994 is the comprehensive plan.
If I'm correct, you want to see the plan that was adopted, that was made for the zoning law.
Sure. In other words, if that code, zoning law, implemented something in that document, I would like to see the relationship between what was in that document and that law.
Or Dr. Slim?
Yeah, I was on that committee,
Okay.
so I guess I predate all of you. That's right.
Won't say that, Slim.
I don't remember a plan that went into the zoning. I have kept all my notes, if I can find them, but I know I have them, it's a stack. We met weekly or every other week and reviewed parts of the town. We went through every road and every byway, and then when we came to a final plan, and that was presented, we had a public hearing, and that was presented with the board to adopt. But I don't remember taking a plan here and saying, here, board, accept this. I mean, because we worked on something continuously, covered every road, but let me check for you everything I have, because I did save everything. But there's no, you know, Dr. Lamb was working with us, and we would say, well, tomorrow night, we're going to be discussing, you know, Route 9B, or we're going to be discussing the Bayshard Road and whatever other road, and that's what we would do. And we would decide the uses for that area, and people from that area knew what we were going to discuss, and would come to the meeting and tell us how they felt, you know. I want to be able to put mobile home there, or it's my farmland and I don't want it just industrial, I want it residential, or, you know, whatever. We would take their comments into consideration. But let me check, and I'll show you everything I have. But we did it piecemeal, it wasn't a plan and transferred to something else.
Yeah, I know Mr. Murnane, he mentioned that Peru has a comprehensive land use plan, and that it is updated, changed, you know, to fit the times and the
Yeah,
needs of the
yeah,
community.
yeah.
I also spoke to someone at the Division of Local Government Services in New York Department of State, and again, James A. Kuhn, and he was basically saying, you know, if you want to find out something about, I mentioned 9B and what was going on at 9B. He said, if you want to find out what should be going on in 9B, you should take a look at your town's land use comprehensive plan. And that's what got me to this point.
I guess what I'm being told, or what I understand.
Yeah, maybe we're playing semantics here, you know, but let me check what I have, and whatever you guys have, and we'll get back.
Okay,
It's my
thank you.
understanding tonight, they're telling me that the zoning laws that we have that was approved in '93 is that.
No, I understand what has been said.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with the fact. I think there's two documents here that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
Or possibly some type of investigation that went on in the community in order to come up with the present law.
Mhm.
So,
Okay,
you know,
I
what
saved
are,
everything.
what are the results of that investigation? And
Mhm.
maybe that's what should be the comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
Okay. We will share whatever we have with you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you.
We'll try to get onto it. Mr. Jeanette, you got to hand up first. I'm sorry.
That's all right, you go right ahead.
I just came here to thank our highway superintendent for the job they did on Point of Fair. At the point where the Scales Road intersects the Point of Fair Road, we had some pretty bad potholes that needed some attention, and I really appreciate the fact that Mr. Racine saw fit to take care of that problem, and I must say, they did a fine job. Thank you.
Thank you. Marlene.
My name's Marlene Shank. I'd like to address something that was said at last month's meeting by Mr. Trahan. First of all, I wish to thank the town board on the correct decision to pave the Matot Road and have a real good asset on your board, Mr. Alan Racine. Alan came to the residents on Matot Road last fall and informed us that the road would be paved in either late spring or early summer. You have no idea how pleased we all were to hear that great news, as our road has not been paved in about 35 years, and it was showing its wear very badly. thanks to Mr. Alan Racine, that was completed this year, as promised, but there was some nasty remarks made by one of the members on your town board, Mr. Trahan, had said at the last meeting words that were not very nice about the people on Matot Road and upset us greatly. We all feel that Mr. Trahan should apologize to us tonight while the meeting is in session. Those types of phrases should be kept to oneself or on a one-to-one session with the people involved. I am sure that Mr. Trahan says these type of things on a regular basis, and just maybe he should rethink what he has publicly said. Anyway, the road is very good, and now again, thanks to Alan Racine for making the effort to get the job done and under budget. This man is an asset to the town, and hopefully and will be re-elected again and again for many years to come. Thank you.
I'm sorry if I said something that offended you, but we were discussing something at the time we were talking about this. There's no way to offense or hurt anybody.
Point of Fair Road is great, because we walk every morning, and now I don't fall in holes while I'm walking, and thank you.
I did review that road also, I've done all 3 roads that we've done this year, and they all look great. I think the whole crew did a good job. And, we did come in within budget on those, as I spoke last month about those issues. Money's always the issue. And, we felt fortunate we're, Celine, you have anything to share with us on the county level?
Yeah, our biggest news at the county, of course, you heard about our new airline.
Yes.
$79 fares through Fort Lauderdale, Tuesdays and Fridays to start. They start November 16th. Reservations have been very, very strong, so if you're interested, you better do it now. So strong that they're considering maybe adding additional days or additional destinations. They're very, very pleased. And we've gotten very, very good media play in both the Canadian market and the U.S. market. So we're quite happy with that. We're still waiting to hear the federal DOT determination for our EAS, our Essential Air Service. As you know, Commute Air has that contract now with the federal government, but they want to get out. Big Sky is an airline that is looking at taking it over. So we're hoping for a yes in the future from the feds, and Big Sky will move in, and hopefully they have a Delta affiliation, so it should be very good flying with Burlington. And so we should be hearing something good. Our in-rem foreclosure process went very well. Our sale of properties, we sold, there were 4 from Champlain, but 29 parcels in all. And no lawsuits, everything went well, and we even made money on it, so we're quite pleased. So they were going high this year, the sale of these properties. We started our budget. Our goal is to reduce the county tax rate. Our sales tax is healthy this year. It should benefit Champlain with your new assessments. You should be able to be more competitive than last year, get a little bit more money this year. So those are my only comments. If you have any questions?
I would like to tell Celine too that I work for the Beekman Town Information Center, and we are getting a lot of Canadians coming down and asking where the airport is and where the flights are going to be going out of and how many planes we're going to be flying. So as soon as we get more information on more planes, I would really like to have something sent to them, because we can tell them where to go and they're all
Very
excited
good.
about it.
Very
So
good. We're getting there.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share with us? I'd like to welcome Rouse's Point Mayor, Doug Rivers. I just smiled, nothing to say.
I don't guess so.
Anyone else? We thank you all for your
I don't think
comments.
so.
If there's nothing else, I need approval of the August 14th minutes.
Second.
Is there any questions on the August 14th minutes? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. The second item is the Time Warner franchise agreement. We have a meeting scheduled for October 9th at 7 p.m. That is our regular board meeting night, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yes. One or two or both of those ladies that were here 2 months ago.
One of them.
One of them will
Pat
be,
Johnson was. There was a conflict. It was supposed to be tonight, but somehow there was a conflict. I don't know what
Okay.
happened, but she apologized and
Should
definitely.
be 7 o'clock, we look at that later.
well, the meeting starts at 7. We meet here in executive session as a contractual issue, so that's for your information. We did get a check from Time Warner, and we do every 3 months, I believe it is, $2,204. You get around approximately $8,000 a year. It's about $2,000 every quarter. Good news, we had a audit refund from PERMA. This is our insurance coverage, workman's comp, the way it is. They do this once a year, we get $4,213 rebate check. It's nice to have. The Shared Service Municipal Incentive Grant Program is something that 3 of us went to today. There's going to be another round of shared services grants coming up. We have to file by December 14th. We are working on an item. We intend to work on an item, a joint venture with the Village of Champlain for salt, sand and salt storage shed. We'll be working on that. The next letter is from Christopher Nicholson. It's the Workplace Prevention Violence Program. I have your policy and risk evaluation results ready to deliver. I can mail them to you or go over them on the phone or bring them to you in person. I thought you might want to save the mileage and fees by going over the phone. I can do it either way. The draft is for your review as well as the town board. You can let me know the recommendations you wish to adopt, and I will draw up a final copy. We just need to let these people know this is that risk management thing that we had done a couple months ago. They came and interviewed the employees. So I don't know how we want to handle that. Do you want them here to do it in person, or you want us to do it over the phone? Or, to my knowledge, when they were here, they found no big items of...
I think it's something we can do over the phone. We now have that conference phone too.
Yes, that might work well. If I know when that's going to happen, I'll let you guys know as much as possible. If somebody wants to come in and share, I'm not. Got a letter from the Clinton County Board of Elections. There will be a primary election on September 18th in Legislative Area 1 from noon till 9 at the town office in Route 9. It's an independence primary. We will be using paper ballots, and there'll be only one site for all 4 districts in Champlain and Rouse's Point. That site will be here at this building. The inspectors will be here by 11:30 to prepare the noon opening. We wish you to share this information with the council and supervisor. Please note, for people with disabilities, arrangements to be made. If you have any questions, call the Board of Elections or call here. Elections next Tuesday from noon to 9 for Independence Party voters only. Okay, there's a upcoming census. We don't really, I don't know why it's so early. I believe it's the 2010 census. We're starting to get facts and figures together about boundaries, and I know of no boundary changes within our township, either from the village or from within another township, so we just need to respond to that. Some municipalities do have boundary changes within a 10-year period. The next letter is from the Employees Retirement System, the State Controller's Office. It's just for information only. It's how the retirement funds are figured. And believe me, it's complicated.
Back to the census,
Yes?
the email, should we have that changed?
which page on the back?
Second page, where it has the contact information,
What do you want, James?
the email.
Okay,
So
Yes.
We should have that changed.
yes, I see that. Yes. Thank you, Fred. That's, I still get mail from previous supervisors 2 or 3 times. Well, 2 or 3 predecessors before me even. Okay, is there any questions on this retirement system, how it's figured? If you figured it out, it's more complicated than I ever figured. There is a savings if we pay by December of every year instead of January, which I believe we have normally done. When we do our budget, we'll discuss that for certain. There's 4 different tiers of employees, and we will try to pay that in December to take advantage of the savings on that. The next thing is the real property office is open on Fridays here at this building. It will also be open on Monday the 10th, which was yesterday, and Thursday the 20th, and all Fridays of this month. Okay. Alan, can you chime in on this one here, this hauling permits? Are you aware of that?
That there don't really affect us that much. That's if we're paving a road, or if we're drawing, let's say gravel, and we gotta go through a bridge or something that's permitted, you gotta let those people know that you got a route you're going by. Or let's say there's other construction going on, some other, that we gotta go through. More or less, you gotta have permits and call up and tell them where your routes are, where you're gonna draw from. But we haven't been affected by that.
Even for sand, nothing.
No.
You don't have no water main trucks in it.
Well, we got overload permits, but we are permitted. Nothing.
We have a contract sent to us, it's actually from the county, pertaining to the plowing and sanding of the county convenience station. We've done this for several years. It's the will of the board. We wish to continue to do this. This is a seasonal contract. It goes from fall to spring for snow and plowing only. It's not a calendar year contract. It's a seasonal contract. Any input on that, Alan? I mean, as far as,
No.
Now we're all right.
Yeah, we're all right. I guess we get an increase every year.
no, not on this one.
Not on this
I
one?
think you're thinking of the roads we get an increase. For during the winter maintenance on the roads we do. This one here, I believe, is the same as last year. It's a $60 an hour
Oh, for the landfill.
for the landfill
All
only.
right. Yeah, I don't have no problem with that.
Okay? If there's no, somebody like to make a motion that we approve this contract, or if it's the desire of the board?
Make a motion to approve the contract that you saw for the cleaning of the landfill.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
That's carried.
They gonna do anything with that road this year? Last year,
Well, they haven't asked. To repair the potholes and stuff, it's nowhere near as bad as it was last year, so they have not asked. That I know of. I think I would know that, but they have not asked. Okay. On the same line, we do have the well testing. I mentioned that to you briefly yesterday, I believe.
yeah.
That will be coming up sometime this fall. They will let us know, they said, so. The testing of the wells at the landfill. Okay. Julie, do you have this letter? It's the next thing.
Yep.
You want to read that, please?
To Alan Racine, I would like to thank Mr. Racine, Mr. Barcombe, and the town board for voting to pave the Scales Road. It was in serious disrepair, but now it looks great. It is much easier to push my grandson's carriage and ride bikes down there now. Again, thanks, Bill Luckett.
Thank you. We have a request from Mickey Tatro. He would like to board approval to attend the annual conference of managing local government at SUNY Potsdam on October 9th. It's a one-day conference with a $35 registration fee for lunch and registration.
I make a motion that we send Mickey to the training at SUNY Potsdam. I'll second that.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I got a letter, please note that I'm requesting to be zoning board alternate, as my job is conflicting with my future full-time position at this time. Denise Savage, she is now a full-time zoning board member. She would like to go to, not part-time, but alternate. Could we have a motion to approve her as an alternate, please?
Make a motion, we approve having Denise as an alternate.
Second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We do need to approve a new full-time member on that board. We have two alternates at the present time. We've got three now, we just approved the third one, but the two, it's Gerald Arnold and Bruce Wallet. I needed a motion to approve.
You gotta have another regular one?
Full-time member. Denise went from a full-time to an alternate, would be a full-time zoning board member.
I'll make a motion to approve Bruce Wallet, full-time member.
Okay? Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Alan, do you have a,
I started putting road signs on the McBride Road today, and won't take us long, we'll get the rest of the roads. And as far as the mowing the roadsides, that's pretty much completed, but if anybody's got a place that I'm not aware of that needs to be mowed, the mower's not put away yet, so if you can think of some place that needs to be mowed again, and you went second time around, so,
About our lot on, well, 11,
yeah, I can do that, we did it last year.
yeah, we do it late, one shot.
Yeah.
And about the other lot that we have on 276.
well, we have not taken possession of that lot.
Well, you mowed it last year, didn't you?
No, I don't mow it last
Oh,
year.
somebody else, they have
Yeah.
a private on it.
Yeah,
No, I mean, I just want to know if it's,
We do have, I think it's about 7 acres, I believe.
something like that, yeah.
It's supposed to be deeded over to us, and it's not as of now.
we haven't got the sun back on that yet.
No. That committee's working on it. They had to get county Supreme Court approval or something, and it has not gotten back to us. So,
Okay.
I really don't know where that stands time-wise. It should have been done by now, but it has not been done. We do not own that lot as present. Okay. The building committee, John Paul and Richard, nothing there, I don't.
No.
Okay.
The other committee,
Yeah.
we're gonna get together and check on that, for
Storage.
the storage for Mike.
Yeah.
Well, Julie,
Well, we talked about it a little
Yeah.
bit.
So we'll get together.
Okay, we'll put a date together and check with you.
Okay.
I know nothing on the grants committee or the board of assessment review at this time. The highway committee, John Paul and Craig, nothing that hasn't been spoken of, that I know of.
just great job on the,
Did you have a place that you needed to fix?
Mike, up on the farm, you come and check the two driveways.
Comes out of the field there?
We come in and out by the barn, both sides.
Yeah.
Because down, I don't know if you got to put tar or gravel, because if we don't, when a big truck go in and out, they're gonna tear up the road.
All right. I'll do,
And when they start hauling corn out.
okay.
The water sewer committee, Jules and Craig, Mike.
Nothing right now, we're hoping to have some news there tomorrow, tomorrow at the plans for that meeting.
The landfill committee, the landfill committee, Jules and John. The landfill has been mowed, Ellen.
You get the spots fixed up there.
No, I won't be able to.
We do have the testing coming up this fall, we hope. Julie, you have anything?
Yeah, I have a couple things. I'd just like to let the residents of the town know that we did have our annual town yard sale on the 25th, August 25th, and it went very well, and we're looking forward to having it be an annual event. We were busy. John Paul was here, Mickey. We had a lot of fun. I think it was a good turnout. There's a rabies clinic, a free rabies clinic on September 20th at the Champlain Fire Station from 6 to 8:30. There's other locations too, so if anybody needs them, they can give me a call and I can let them know. And there's a codes class coming up on September 18th for training from 8 to 12. The town of Plattsburgh regarding modular homes. And I'd like to get permission, and I'm sure Mickey wants permission to go too.
Is it October what?
No, it's September 18th,
Oh, September 18th, that's next Tuesday.
next Tuesday, from 8 to noon.
Can I entertain a motion for that?
I'll make a motion that
Should we hear in Plattsburgh?
Yeah, at the town office.
Julie and Mickey go to
Okay.
training.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Something we carried over from last month. Linda Cadet had the bylaws for the joint youth program. We tabled them to give you a chance to read them. George, I believe Russell's Point also got these. Do you, no? Nope. Okay. I would, Linda Pradette has prepared the bylaws for the joint youth program. She's requesting the town board review the statement and offer any changes. She's also requesting the board consider this statement as part of the town policy and adopt this by board resolution at the next board meeting. She will be available for questions. We have a copy of it. We've had it for a month. Still go to the board here.
Did they go to the village of Champlain too?
Yeah.
Whatever else is point.
This includes, all three boards will have this eventually, so I thought they would have had it by now, but they haven't. Is it the way the board passes, or?
I've reviewed it personally, but I'm just wondering, and kind of like board's input as far as, you know, at the next shared services meeting, kind of discussing it a little bit. Because it involves
All three.
all three.
Okay. Is that still the first week of the month, or was
Tomorrow night's a shared services meeting. Did they have a copy of that? Did the
Well,
board?
George is saying no,
They
no,
don't.
but I'll make sure that I get copies brought and
Probably talk about it in
talk
October.
about it, and just, I can make phone contact, and, but I don't really feel like we should make any
okay?
movement on it at this point.
We'll table that till next month and see what happens. I'd like to schedule a budget workshop session in 2 weeks from tonight. That will be here at the town hall, September 25th at 6 o'clock. We'd like to work on that for 2 or 3 hours. That's why we're starting an hour early. It's open to the public. We're starting to put together our budget for next year. It has to be in place before November. November's coming quick. Does anyone else have anything they're bringing before the board? Do you have anything else, Joe?
No?
Mickey?
Yes, I had two other requests. One of them I passed out as I came in, and it's there's a two-day seminar in Potsdam, at SUNY Potsdam in November, and it's on grant writing. Currently, there's no one in the town that does any grant writing or writes grants, and we're in the process of looking to write a grant here. And I am asking to be able to attend this two-day seminar. It costs about $400 and some plus the overnight, I believe. I think it's $400 for the registration at SUNY Potsdam, and then there would be a night overnight there. But I strongly feel, and I talked with Jane about this, that who's gonna write the grants here? I mean, I'm not the great wizard, but I have a little bit of an interest in it, and I'm willing to do it. But I talked to Kyle Wilbur today at this conference that we were at, and he strongly suggested that if we can go, that we go. Champlain is sending 2 people to do this, so they have an interest in it also. And Rouse's Point has a person that helps them with their grants, so I think it's in the town's best interest, and I'm promoting myself here.
I make a motion with Mickey being interested and us being without someone to write a grant that we send Mickey to this 2-day seminar.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, and my last request is, the Village of Rouse's Point belongs to the New York State Planning Federation. It's a planning zoning organization. The town does not belong to that. They are sending some people to Saratoga. It's a 2-day, again, it's a 2-day conference in October, dealing with planning zoning issues. And the planning zoning boards have asked me if I was interested in going, and I am. So I spoke with Jane about this, because the town contracts, or the village's contract with the town for my services, the town would be liable to pay for me to go down there if I went. So I have to ask you people here if I can go to this. And again, this is another $300 thing, $318.
Make a motion that we.
What's this one for?
It's the New York State Planning Federation, it's planning and zoning issues as they relate. It's, the Village of Rouse's Point belongs to this organization, not that the town can't, but currently we don't. So there's,
Can we, a non-member, send somebody?
yes, it's $15 more if you're a non-member. I would suggest that we join the organization, but it has to do more directly with issues in the Village of Rouse's Point and what I'm involved with there as far as planning and zoning. So they asked, I mean, they're sending some of their people, so I kind of like to go, so I know what they're talking about, what they're dealing with.
What does it cost to belong to this organization?
It's well, I don't know what it costs to join, but the registration fee is $125.
Registration for this conference.
Right.
So what does it cost to belong to the organization? Do you know that?
I'm not sure, they don't have that on there. I can find out if the town wants to join.
Yeah, that would.
Well, I just don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's,
I make a motion to allow them to attend
Okay.
the planning and zoning conference.
Second that motion.
is there any questions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's also carried.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to be busy. I'll go into your
We hope more knowledge, eh?
No, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
If there's nothing else, I do have a need for an executive session to discuss a contract.
I make a motion, we go into executive session to discuss contractual.
Okay? Second. All those in favor?
I think we can do that before you leave.
No, I probably should have, excuse me.
And also, there's a class, New York State Retirement Seminar that's coming up September 20th and the 21st, and Jane wants permission to go to that.
That's in Plattsburgh also?
I think it's
Yes.
in Plattsburgh.
Yes,
She was supposed to be here tonight, but
she called me.
she wants permission to go to that. It's the 20th and 21st of September.
I make a motion that we make it possible for Jane to attend a seminar on New York State retirement.
Do I need a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Motion to approve the monthly bills,
So I have a couple.
additions.
Yep. Adirondack Icon is the monthly contract. And then there was some work that was done on the judge's system. It's for $649.99. And then we've got Kevin Smith Sports Connection for soccer goalie helmet for $41.
We have those two additional ones, besides the ones you have on your desk. Need a motion to approve the bills?
I make a motion to pay the monthly bill.
I'll second the motion.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. What else we want to do? Here's all the bills? What?
Both got it.
Post audit bills.
Make a motion to pay the post office bills.
Second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's also carried. Yeah, that's it, pretty much. Now I will go back to my motion to go into executive session. Well, we can, I don't know if we need to, but we can do that, it's not a problem. Okay. We need to advertise for two bids, one for the cleaning of the building and one for the uniforms. We'd like those bids in by our next meeting in October. We're gonna advertise those for within 10 days of that meeting, I believe. Do you know?
Good enough time.
Oh, yeah.
The October 9th meeting?
Yes.
Larry, you want to check on the medical form to make sure one of those two-year contract. Check that out to make sure that.
The specs for the uniforms and the cleaning of the building will be available to any prospective bidder. We'll get those ready.
You usually work on the janitorial one. Do you want
I
to?
did have the file, I had the file.
You want to get together on the specs to make sure they're all,
Unless you want to change something, yeah, we'll get it together and I'll talk with you.
okay,
And Larry can look at it and see if he wants to change it.
okay.
So, do I have a motion? I need a motion to advertise those two
Make a motion that we advertise for the janitorial and
uniforms.
uniforms.
Second that motion.
For the bids to come in by October meeting. Okay?
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Yes, Mark.
Are you gonna take any action on the moratorium for the windmills?
We're still waiting to hear from the attorney on that. It's October. Pretty sure it's October, but I put Howard's waiting.
Okay. We'll figure it out next month also then. Okay, I'll go back to my original motion for executive session. I believe it was Jules. Did you have that? Jules? Okay, all those in favor for executive session?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Contractual issues? That's it.
Everyone, please stand and join us in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the meeting to order at 6:30. Now's our time for opinions and concerns from the audience. Thank you all for joining us this evening. If you have an opinion or concern, would you please rise, state your name, and let us know your concern. Yes, please.
I have a question. Marlene Villa, Ross's client, lifetime resident. The asbestos abatement program that was done, is there any recourse to supply to whoever did it?
Perhaps Mr. Lanning can help us with this question.
I'm the architect with Collins and Scoville. What you're asking is that the asbestos abatement, which was done in the late 80s, from what our understanding is, and Jim filled in the picture for us some, is that that work was done not within the new regulations. It was done in such a manner that the new regulations leave it in such a manner that it still needs to be finished to be abated. I don't think that there's anybody that's liable for that condition. It just is what it is.
And my question must be to you, my second question. Did they ever make an asbestos test when they went through the buildings and made their estimates?
This was for our current project. It was done after the referendum. This was after the testing was done when our
After the fact?
well, not after the fact, ma'am. It was done in a prudent fashion for us to understand what needed to happen for our construction. It was not done prior to the referendum. We don't typically test buildings. We go on the information that's given to us by the districts.
I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I'm going to defend you a little bit. I did ask that same question, Ms. Beal, and they told us there was a management plan that the school had in place which showed an abatement had been done and that it showed not obviously as much asbestos as there was. Now, it's still debatable whether or not this firm should have relied solely on that, but they did have something to rely on that apparently this school district presented them. So that's kind of where we were.
If this is in that school, are those children at risk?
I'm not an asbestos